Listen up, guys, because it looks like we've reached capitulation by boredom. This might be the last opportunity to get into some of these projects before we actually break out and see the next part of this bull market. The fear and greed index is still in the fear zone, and over the past couple of days, we've even seen it down in the extreme fear. Usually, this is an indication that it's a great buying opportunity and that we may have reached capitulation where we're going to start seeing a turnaround coming up real soon. At the time of recording, it does look like we are putting in a higher low here, with the previous low being this wick all the way down to about $49,000, and this recent dip that we saw only making it down to about $52,500. Now it's starting to go back to the upside, and it looks like if we break out of this possible broadening wedge formation, then we probably have a price target of about $93,000. But if you go by the bodies of these candles on the daily chart here, and you move the line down to make a trend line, then this is starting to look like it might actually be a bull flag formation, which is even more bullish than a broadening wedge. How you tell the price target for one of these is you take the swing high to the swing low from the flagpole before the flag itself actually did form, and then you extend that from the breakout point, which would give us a price target of about $104,000. So either way, it looks like we're probably going to be having a bullish breakout of this coming up eventually, and with it making this higher low right now, it looks like it might be coming up right around the corner. Hopefully it does play out to be this bull flag formation so that we can go above 100,000, and we might even make it there before we see any significant retracements because we've already pretty much reset the market, which means that nobody's even been feeling any FOMO recently. If we break out of this pattern, I think that they're going to start feeling that FOMO, and those of us that have been accumulating during this sideways time are going to reap the benefits, and we're finally going to be paid for our patience. Also, a lot of people are talking about this golden cross for Bitcoin that's appearing on the 2-month chart, and as Titan of Crypto says, in past cycles, every time a golden cross has appeared in the 2-month chart, it led to massive Bitcoin rallies, and he poses a question, will this time be any different? If you look here at the chart that he posted, you can see that every time this blue line crosses below the red line, that's a golden cross, and usually that's the beginning of the parabolic phase of the bull market. We haven't even seen that happen yet in this bull market, but it looks like it's happening right now, so we could be getting ready to break out of that possible bull flag formation and continue to the upside with some explosive velocity. Really, I would say that that's probably the trajectory we're headed for, unless we do make a lower low here. And all we're waiting on is some kind of catalyst to break us out of this pattern, and then some volume to come in to confirm we're going to the upside. And then, in my opinion, I think the next stop is probably going to be around 100,000 somewhere. And depending on the time frame of when we get there, we might continue further than that, but it also might be a really great idea to take a little bit of profits because that is going to be a super psychological level, and depending on who wins the election, that could be around the time that we start to top out because of uncertainty re-entering the market around what the future is going to bring. One of the catalysts that could send us going to the upside is the Fed meeting that's coming up here in just a few days, 5 days at the time of recording, and there is about a 71% chance that we're going to be seeing the very first rate cut of this cycle, with it being about 25 basis points. And if we see anything higher than that, then that could especially be a good catalyst that could break us out of this pattern. But eventually, as I said, I think the Fed is going to have to drastically lower interest rates way more than they're anticipating, because we're probably headed for a financial crisis since we're already in a recession, and they haven't even admitted that yet. So if things get really any worse than this, then they're going to have to take drastic action. And every time in the past that they've done something like that, it has had a negative effect on the price of stocks and other markets. So this combined with the election could indicate the end of the bull market coming up soon, maybe even in the next 6 months or so. But we're going to have to pay attention to see what the news brings. And if you want to stay up to date so that you don't miss the top of the market and have to sit out a whole nother bear market, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button because I'm going to be keeping you guys updated along the way. According to this article on Bitcoin Magazine, it looks like the UK Parliament has now introduced a bill to recognize Bitcoin and crypto as personal property. A lot of people are talking about this, and it might be bullish for the crypto market, but you got to pay attention because they're not doing this for any other reason other than probably to get more taxes out of people. I don't know how they tax personal property over there, but I'm sure there's some kind of implications. And I know the government doesn't usually do anything that's going to make your life any easier. It's mostly just to get some more of your hard earned paycheck. So, this might make it easier for people to invest in cryptocurrencies, and it might remove some of the uncertainty around the legal status of the crypto projects. But just pay attention to what the possible ulterior motives are of the government, because sometimes it might seem like they're trying to give you a little bit of a freedom or some kind of a privilege on one hand, but then they're taking away twice the freedom with the other hand. Governments raising taxes and trying to take more of your hard earned money takes away your freedom to do things that you want to do. So we have to be careful with what liberties we are offering to give up in exchange for the adoption of cryptocurrency technology by governments and institutions. Fortunately, though, it does look like the crypto market is taking this as bullish news, and it looks like we might be getting ready to pump in anticipation of the Fed rate cut. But in my opinion, lowering interest rates by 25 basis points isn't really going to have a significant impact on people's lifestyles. It's just going to be a psychological indicator that possibly there's going to be liquidity coming back into the market. So in the meantime, it could push markets up, but it also could be an indication that there's harder times coming and a crisis might actually occur that will cause them to drastically lower interest rates, which could have a drastic impact on markets like stocks and maybe even crypto. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. If the Fed actually does have to drastically lower interest rates, is it going to be having a negative impact on the markets? Or do you think that somehow this time is different and we're not going to see a sell-off whenever the Fed does lower interest rates significantly, like we have seen every single time he's done it in the past? Either way, thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if it brought you value. But most importantly, don't forget to do only good every day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.